Cronux Studios. The Elder knelt beside the pool of shimmering liquid, her gnarled fingers hovering above its surface. The Ashvalor tree loomed behind them, its roots tangled and exposed, as if clawing desperately at the sand to hold its ground. The fading sunlight cast long shadows across the dunes, but the glow of the pool refused to dim. Astari stood a few steps back, her breath shallow, her mask catching the soft reflection of the turquoise light. The Elder's eyes was locked on the swirling patterns within the pool. Something in it stirred her, called to her, just as it had to Astari. She reached into her satchel and pulled out a small, cracked vessel, a ceremonial cup worn smooth by years of use. She dipped it carefully into the pool, her hands trembling as the liquid rippled and settled inside. Astari stepped closer, her pulse quickening. The Elder turned to her. She saw the mask, turquoise and cracked, veined like the bark of the tree behind them. Astari's gaze was wide, curious, and unreadable. No comfort, no certainty, only hunger for what lay ahead. The Elder's throat tightened. Her hands shook as she raised the cup. She hesitated, the rim hovering just above her lips. She searched Astari's face again, but the mask revealed nothing. Just the eyes, bright, focused, relentless. With a sharp breath, the Elder tipped the cup and drank. The liquid touched her tongue, cool and smooth, but it burned as it slid down her throat, and the world fell away. Darkness folded in, pierced by streaks of color that twisted and bled together. Shapes moved within the storm of light, indistinct, shifting, until something broke through. A face. The Elder gasped. Her daughter. But not as she remembered her. She was older, her face softened by time, her hair streaked with silver. Then the image shifted. The daughter again, but older still. Wrinkled, fragile, surrounded by children who laughed and clung to her hands. The Elder reached for her. No words, just yearning, desperation. The vision changed again. The daughter, frail and dying, then gone, dust in the wind. No! The Elder tried to hold on, tried to step closer, but the vision unraveled. She heard Astari's voice, distant and urgent. The Elder's chest burned, her lungs screaming for air. Her body shook, but she refused to let go. She reached out one last time as the light fractured. The world snapped back into place. The Elder collapsed onto her knees, clutching her chest, gasping for breath. Astari was there, pulling her back, her voice sharp and worried. What did you see? The Elder couldn't speak. Her breaths came in ragged gulps, her eyes wild. Astari knelt beside her, gripping her shoulders. What did you see? The Elder finally looked up, tears streaming down her cheeks. My daughter. Her voice was barely a whisper. I saw her. Astari's hands tightened. Not as she was, as she could have been. Older, happy, alive. The words hung heavy between them. It's more than just a vision, the Elder said. She faltered, unable to finish. Her gaze fell back to the pool, and her shoulders slumped. Astari Astari helped her stand, but the elder wouldn't look away from the shimmering pool. And Astari knew, whatever this was, whatever power lay hidden in the sand, it had them now. It wouldn't let them go.